The 70s felt like a jukebox lit by neon and cigarette smoke. AM radio spinning soft rock and soul, FM discovering country rock and punk's first sparks. Tucked between chart anthems were artists who briefly brushed the spotlight, then slipped into silence, undone by bad deals, cruel luck, frail health, or a single night that changed everything. Their songs still flicker in memory like distant porch lights. So today, we are looking back at the 10 most tragic stories of 1970s forgotten stars. Number 10, Montego Bay by Bobby Bloom. Bobby Bloom's Montego Bay radiated sunshine, capturing the feel of a carefree island escape. Behind the brightness was a songwriter struggling with the industry's grind. His life ended suddenly in his own home, leaving only one unforgettable hit and a story cut short.
Come sing me line. Come sing me Montego Bay.
Released in 1970, Montego Bay mixed calypso joy with pop precision, soaring into the top 10 across the United States and the United Kingdom. At a time when the world felt heavy with protest and war, its breezy melody gave listeners a brief, irresistible passport to paradise. But Bloom's career never reached the heights his talent promised. Though he co-wrote Mony Mony, record executives often kept him behind the curtain. In 1974, tragedy struck when an accidental gunshot ended his life. His future, and potential for more hits, vanished overnight.
I still feel emotion here at home in bed.
Today, Montego Bay remains a joyful relic, its whistle and chorus floating on radio waves like sunlit sea air. Yet knowing Bloom's fate, the song feels bittersweet, a postcard from a summer that never returned. One shining hit, forever tied to a story cut short. Number 9, UFO by Jim Sullivan. Jim Sullivan's album, UFO, sounded like desert night skies, lonely, mystical, searching. On a road trip west, his car was found abandoned, his belongings inside, but he was never seen again. His music became a cult relic of one of rock's strangest vanishings. Released in 1969, UFO blended folk strumming with cosmic overtones, reflecting America's fascination with space and mystery. Sullivan's baritone felt both grounding and eerie, as though he already sensed the legend ahead. At first, the record reached only a few ears before fading quietly into obscurity. In 1975, Sullivan drove from Los Angeles toward Nashville, chasing career opportunities. His car was discovered at a New Mexico ranch, guitar and wallet still inside, but no trace of him. Rumors flourished, foul play, wandering away, even abduction, each adding to the mystery of his fate. Today, UFO is cherished as a lost classic, its songs echoing with desert silence and unanswered questions. Listening feels haunting, as if Sullivan's voice drifts just beyond reach, forever on that highway. His disappearance remains unsolved, but his music endures like a spectral echo of possibilities lost. Number 8, Danger Zone by Stone the Crows.
Every morning.
Stone the Crows blended Scottish grit with American blues fire. Their guitarist, Les Harvey, died after being electrocuted on stage before horrified fans. The band's growing momentum shattered that night, and Danger Zone became tragically prophetic, a title now echoing the risks of live performance. Formed in Glasgow, the group was driven by Maggie Bell's commanding vocals and Harvey's sharp guitar. Their live shows drew rave reviews, marked by raw emotion and improvisation. By the early 70s, Stone the Crows were earning slots alongside bigger acts, poised to step into international recognition. In May 1972, that dream ended. While performing in Swansea, Harvey touched an ungrounded microphone with wet hands and was fatally electrocuted. Fans watched in shock as the music stopped abruptly. The tragedy froze the band's rise, silencing a partnership that had only begun to flourish. Today, Danger Zone is remembered not just for its gritty energy, but for the cruel irony of its title. The band never recovered, though Bell carried on with a solo career. Harvey's loss remains a sobering reminder of how fragile brilliance can be. Number 7, I Am the Cosmos by Chris Bell. Chris Bell helped spark Big Star's brilliance, then recorded the fragile, pleading "I Am the Cosmos." His music brimmed with longing and celestial ache, but he never lived to see its impact. A car crash ended his journey, leaving behind one haunting solo masterpiece. In the early 70s, Bell and Alex Chilton co-founded Big Star, a band fusing jangling guitars with British-influenced melodies. Critics adored their albums, yet commercial success slipped away. Disappointed, Bell left the group, retreating to the studio in search of his own voice, one filled with yearning. Recorded in Memphis, "I Am the Cosmos" captured that search. Its shimmering guitars and vulnerable lyrics revealed a man wrestling with isolation and hope. Though released in limited numbers, the song felt timeless, echoing the spirit of countless dreamers who never find the recognition they deserve. Bell died in 1978, his career unfinished, but his music refused to vanish. Rediscovered years later, the song became a beacon for alternative rock artists who cited him as inspiration. "I Am the Cosmos" endures as a fragile hymn, beauty preserved in a single shining moment. Number 6, "Jesus Was a Crossmaker" by Judy Sill.
Oh, Jesus was a crossmaker.
Judy Sill's "Jesus Was a Crossmaker" carried grace and pain, fusing folk with cathedral-like arrangements. Despite her brilliance, her life was marred by struggles and rejection. Her songs remain revered by musicians, glowing like hidden gems from a troubled soul seeking light. Sill emerged from Los Angeles' early 70s songwriter scene, alongside Jackson Browne and Joni Mitchell. She carried a past marked by hardship, but turned it into lyrics of theology, love, and redemption. Her 1971 debut revealed a singular voice, tender, philosophical, and spiritually restless. "Jesus Was a Crossmaker," produced by Graham Nash, showed her ambition to raise folk into sacred territory. Yet commercial success never arrived. Executives struggled to market her spiritual intensity, while audiences preferred lighter fare. Her artistry, deeply serious and luminous, remained hidden in its own era.
Come rumbling, the light never looked so dim.
By the mid-70s, addiction and illness dimmed her career. In 1979, she passed away, her catalog nearly forgotten. Decades later, artists from Warren Zevon to Fleet Foxes praised her influence. The song endures as her radiant testament, fragile beauty born from brokenness. Number 5, "Pink Moon" by Nick Drake.
Pink moon, gonna get you.
Nick Drake's "Pink Moon" whispered through sparse guitar and fragile voice, feeling private and eternal. In his lifetime, it barely sold, his struggles deepening until an overdose silenced him. Later, the album became a treasured masterpiece, a hushed cathedral of vulnerability and brilliance. Recorded in 1971 over just 2 nights, Pink Moon stripped away the lush arrangements of his earlier work. Only voice and acoustic guitar remained, creating a stark intimacy. Listeners felt as though they had stumbled into a private confession, its delicate tone reflecting a restless, troubled soul.
Pink moon is on its way.
Though his talent was undeniable, Drake resisted live performance and promotion, shrinking from the public eye. Commercial response was nearly non-existent, leaving him in deepening despair. Friends recalled his quiet withdrawal, the sense that he carried songs like burdens, melodies both luminous and unbearably heavy to hold. Nick Drake died in 1974, but Pink Moon was rediscovered decades later, inspiring generations of songwriters. Its fragile honesty became its strength, proof that intimacy can be as powerful as grandeur. Today, the record is a whispered monument, fleeting life captured in eternal sound. Number 4, "Return of the Grievous Angel" by Graham Parsons. Graham Parsons pioneered cosmic American music, blending country and rock into one highway hymn. His album Return of the Grievous Angel was released after his untimely death from an overdose. It became both a farewell and proof of his vision, music that outlived him. Parsons had already left fingerprints on American music. He reshaped the Byrds' sound on Sweetheart of the Rodeo and formed the Flying Burrito Brothers, fusing pedal steel with rock rhythms. His songs invited hippies and honky-tonk crowds into the same room, bridging traditions that once stood apart. By 1973, Parsons recorded Grievous Angel with Emmylou Harris, whose harmonies gave his music a timeless ache. Months before its release, he died in Joshua Tree at 26. Friends carried out his strange wish for a desert farewell, cementing the myth as much as the tragedy. Return of the Grievous Angel became a posthumous masterpiece, shaping what later generations would call alt-country. Parsons' dream of cosmic American music lived on through Harris and later Wilco. His voice remains a compass pointing down endless highways, where sorrow and beauty forever ride together. Number 3, Song to the Siren by Tim Buckley.
Drew me loving.
Tim Buckley's ethereal Song to the Siren felt like a dream across ocean waves. Always experimental, he shifted styles restlessly, sometimes losing audiences. A night of excess ended in tragedy, leaving behind a haunting catalog and a single song that still shimmers with otherworldly longing. Buckley emerged in the late 60s with a soaring tenor that seemed limitless. Folk, jazz, soul, and avant-garde textures all found space in his catalog. That daring creativity earned admiration but often confused record buyers. He refused to be pinned down, choosing risk over safety, brilliance over predictability.
I'm troubled as
Written with Larry Beckett, Song to the Siren was first performed on television in 1968, later appearing on his 1970 album Star Sailor. Its spare beauty and fragile melody carried mythic resonance, like a lighthouse in fog. The song's mystique only grew after Buckley's untimely passing in 1975. Today, Song to the Siren is recognized as one of Buckley's finest achievements, covered by countless artists who found themselves drawn to its haunting pull. It represents his fearless spirit, fleeting, elusive, unforgettable. The siren called, and while Buckley followed, the music he left behind still guides us. Number 2, Someday We'll All Be Free by Donny Hathaway.
From me someday.
Donny Hathaway's Someday We'll All Be Free offered hope wrapped in velvet soul. It became an anthem of resilience, though his private battles grew darker. His life ended suddenly, but the song endures as a promise, a voice of freedom that will never fade. Hathaway rose to prominence in the early 70s with a blend of gospel, rhythm, and blues, and jazz that sounded both deeply personal and universal. His collaborations with Roberta Flack lit up the charts, while his solo work revealed a singer capable of turning anguish into beauty and healing. Someday We'll All Be Free was written for a friend battling hardship, yet its lyrics carried a universal message. Hathaway's delivery gave the song a spiritual weight, transforming pain into reassurance. Though it was not a chart hit, it grew quietly into a hymn for endurance and dignity. In 1979, Hathaway's struggles with mental illness ended in tragedy, but his music continued to uplift. Over the years, the song was embraced by movements for justice and healing. Its message still resonates today, a timeless reminder that hope can shine even through despair. Number 1, Day After Day by Badfinger. Badfinger seemed destined for greatness with hits like Day After Day. Yet financial exploitation and bitter legal struggles crushed the band. 2 members died tragically, their dreams undone. The harmonies remain timeless, but the story behind them is one of rock's most devastating cautionary tales. Signed to Apple Records in the late 60s, Badfinger were hailed as heirs to the Beatles' melodic throne. Their crisp guitars and tight harmonies delivered instant classics like Come and Get It and No Matter What. For a moment, it seemed the band could do no wrong. Behind the scenes, however, management contracts drained their finances. Lawsuits and mismanagement left the group unable to access money they had rightfully earned. Pete Ham, the band's primary songwriter, grew increasingly despondent. In 1975, he tragically took his own life, followed years later by bandmate Tom Evans.
My mind is all around you.
Day After Day, with George Harrison's slide guitar shining like sunlight, remains their crowning achievement. Yet, the song's soaring beauty is forever shadowed by their story. Badfinger's tale is both inspiration and warning. proof that even great talent can be undone when trust and fairness are lost. The 70s gave us brilliance, but also heartbreak. These voices remind us how fragile artistry can be. Each story is both a song and a warning, proof that while fame fades, music endures forever. These tracks are time machines, back to radios, record stores, and nights when the future felt wide open. Even when tragedy claimed their creators, the melodies survived, growing stronger with each new listener who found them. That is the power of music. It outlives sorrow and silence. If you enjoyed this journey, like and subscribe for more musical memories. Which song still speaks to you most? Share below and keep the music playing.